Welcome back to our channel where we provide updates and undisclosed narratives on Catherine, Princess of Wales, and her royal family. We provide you with the exciting news: Princess Anne's daring move to block, Camilla left King Charles in turmoil. The British monarchy is like a well-planned play, and the best performance shows how everyone works together. Since King Charles III took over the House of Windsor, has shown a strong sense of unity. This is a continuation of the work done by the late Queen Elizabeth II, who led the institution for 70 years. But beyond the stoic duty and public smiles, the world's most renowned family is still dealing with long-standing conflicts and deep-seated rivalries. There has been a more subtle, profound, and arguably more essential power struggle going on for decades between two of the most powerful women in the monarchy, the king's sister Princess Anne and his wife Queen Camilla. People all across the globe are interested in the feud between Prince William and Prince Harry, but this power battle has been going on between two of the most senior ladies in the monarchy. A clash of crowns shows the animosity that has been between Princess Anne and Queen Camilla for many years. There are no loud pronouncements or public fights in this disagreement. Instead, it is a chilly war that takes place in the halls of power via subtle gestures, deliberate silences, and a strong commitment to principle. The Princess Royal is on one side. She was made during her mother's reign. She is stubborn, known for working hard, and fiercely protective of the traditions that she sees as the basis of the monarchy. Queen Camilla, on the other hand, is the lady who has successfully made the long journey from being a public outcast to becoming the spouse of the king. She represents a more modern, unique, and maybe more fragile side of the institution. For many years, Princess Anne has been a strong, yet often unrecognized defense against what she saw as Camilla's too much power. The Princess Royal has been a guardian of tradition and a continual depressing reminder of the institutional cost of her brother's pleasure. She has questioned her dedication to the unending grind of royal duty and her rise to the title of queen. She has done this in many different ways. Royal insiders and outsiders have said that her actions are not only a personal outrage, they are based on a firmly held idea of what the monarchy should be. The story in this book is about that dispute, which is a drama of process, power, and principle that shows the cracks in the court of King Charles III. A marriage and a title are at the heart of the fundamental conflict. The very beginnings of Camilla's connection with the man who is now king are closely tied to the origins of the friction that exists between Princess Anne and Queen Camilla. A wound was inflicted on the monarchy's prestige that took decades to repair as a result of the prolonged and excruciating dissolution of the marriage between the Prince of Wales and Diana, Princess of Wales. Camilla Parker Bowles was cast as the third person in the tale. For Princess Anne, whose allegiance to her mother and the institution is unwavering, this was not just a private family affair. Rather, it was a public crisis that posed a danger to the stability of the crown. Both royal biographers and those with knowledge of the royal family have said that Anne's disagreement with Camilla was never the result of a normal sibling dispute. It was based on principles. She apparently saw her brother's choice to pursue his connection with Camilla, both during and after his marriage to Diana, to be a breach of his principal responsibility. This was the case both during and after the marriage. The interests of the institution must always take precedence above the pleasure of the individual, according to Anne's worldview, which is a perspective that she has acquired straight from Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip. Charles's decision was seen as a potentially harmful distortion of that fundamental principle. The choice to marry Charles and Camilla was not welcomed with unanimous joy within the royal family when it was ultimately disclosed in 2005 that they intended to be married. While it was believed that the Queen provided her official assent, even though she was apparently hesitant to do so, Princess Anne was supposed to be among the most strident opponents inside the organization. Princess Anne had serious reservations about Camilla legally entering the family, according to Angela Levin, an author who specializes in royal history. In addition to the possibility for additional harm to the public image of the monarchy, she was also concerned about the precedent that would be established by this action. Anne, who is renowned for her pragmatic approach, was aware that bringing Camilla into the fold was a risky move that had the potential to alienate a public that was still passionately devoted to the memory of Princess Diana because of her involvement. This initial disagreement eventually developed into a significant power struggle over the delicate matter of Camilla's potential promotion to the post of queen. At the time of the wedding in 2005, Clarence House made the announcement that Camilla will be recognized not as queen consort, but rather as princess consort, upon Charles's succession to the throne. This was done in an attempt to appease popular opinion and to pay tribute to Diana's legacy. This was a term that had never been used before, and it was legally ambiguous. It was constructed only for the sake of public relations. Nevertheless, there have been long-standing rumors that Camilla and Charles have harbored the desire for her to one day be acknowledged as queen. These rumors have been around for quite some time. According to reports, this is the location where Princess Anne drew a clear boundary on the sand. She is believed to have made her opinions very plain in private conversations with her family, and she is known to be a conscientious adherent to tradition and convention. An explanation was provided by a royal analyst who said that Princess Anne apparently made it quite clear that she thought Camilla should adhere to the title that had been agreed upon. Regarding Anne, the title of princess consort was a necessary concession that was made in order to save the integrity of the monarchy. The act of going back on it would be to disrespect the opinion of the general people and to rewrite history in a manner that she considered to be unacceptable. Her involvement was not just a suggestion, it was also a significant strategic move. Camilla was put in a situation where any attempt to acquire the title of queen would look to be grasping and callous, since she was aligning herself with popular opinion and the memory of her late sister-in-law by advocating for the plan that had already been formed. While Queen Elizabeth II finally resolved the situation in 2022 by declaring her sincere wish for Camilla to be acknowledged as queen consort, Anne's early and strong resistance is considered to have been a major part in delaying and complicating that aim for over 2 decades. This was the first and perhaps most important occasion of the Princess Royal obstructing Camilla's path. It was the beginning of a dynamic of challenge and resistance that would come to characterize their relationship for many years to come. The conflict between work ethic and public persona, a clash of philosophies. If the fight over titles was a war for the soul of the monarchy, then the day-to-day conduct of royal life became the continuous battlefield for the monarchy's soul. It is impossible to find a senior royal who better exemplifies the phrase "duty first" than Princess Anne. Every year she maintains her position at the top of the lists as the member of the family who puts in the most effort. She has attended hundreds of formal events with a level of attentiveness that has garnered her great recognition. She presents herself to the public as someone who is sensible and thrifty and has an almost allergic dislike to being in the spotlight for the sake of being in the spotlight. There is a striking contrast between this unrelenting work ethic and the attitude that is often considered to be taken by Queen Camilla. Although Camilla has established a substantial position with her own portfolio of philanthropic interests, particularly in the areas of literacy and providing help to victims of domestic violence, her schedule has traditionally been seen as being less onerous than that of the Princess Royal. According to the information provided by various sources, this gap has been a substantial source of tension. An individual with knowledge of the palace was reported as stating, Princess Anne takes her responsibilities with the utmost seriousness. It is not a series of public appearances. Rather, it is a dedication to service that lasts a lifetime. According to reports, she is of the opinion that Camilla, especially in her initial years as Duchess of Cornwall, did not always display the same degree of unwavering dedication. This was not a rivalry over numbers, rather it was a fundamental dispute about what it meant to be a senior working royal. It implies that Anne must endure all kinds of weather in order to reveal a plaque in a distant area of the nation, that she must attend an infinite number of receptions, and that she must preserve ties with hundreds of patronages that have lasted for decades. It is a grind, she says, and she feels that it is an essential part of the bargain that the monarchy has with the people. This difference in philosophy extends to how they handle public appearance and how much money they spend. It is well known that Princess Anne is recognized for her modesty. She is noted for reusing clothing from the 1980s and avoiding the expensive trappings that are associated with contemporary monarchy. Her dress sense is more practical than it is stylish. On the other hand, Camilla has adopted a more glamorous public image, as seen by the fact that she often wears items of designer apparel and fine jewelry. There have been rumors that Princess Anne has discreetly communicated her displeasure of what she believed to be wasteful or ostentatious expenditure throughout the years. This is something that is expected of a queen, but it has been reported that she has done so. According to reports, one particular source of friction was the substantial and expensive renovations that were carried out at Clarence House, which is the house of Charles and Camilla in London. Anne, who is of the opinion that royal monies ought to be used with evident humility and caution, is said to have voiced her disapproval of the magnitude of the remodeling, despite the fact that it is a required improvement for the future king and queen. The legitimacy of the monarchy in the eyes of Princess Anne is contingent upon its capacity to appear connected to and respectful of the public that it serves, argues a royal historian. According to her, extravagance weakens the relationship between the two. The message that it conveys is more important than the outfit or the piece of furniture that is being discussed here. Her criticism of Camilla's spending habits is a critique of her understanding of that fundamental principle, she said. According to reports, even their philanthropic work, which is a priority that they both share, has been a source of contention between them. Anne takes a strategy that is both hands-on and deeply ingrained. It was her mother who gave her the opportunity to become president of Save the Children UK, a position she has held since 1970. Her commitment to the organization is well known for being substantial. Despite the fact that Camilla's philanthropic endeavors are very beneficial, there have been instances in which they have been seen as being more media-friendly and less anchored in the long-term, unglamorous work that Anne advocates for. Anne is passionately protective of the causes that she has spent her whole life promoting, and this difference in manner has led to conflicts behind the scenes about the distribution of resources and the strategic direction of the family's charitable endeavors. The guardian of the protocol and the power apparatus. In addition to her strong work ethic, Princess Anne has established herself as the most knowledgeable and authoritative defender of royal convention and tradition. She is aware of the fact that the elaborate web of rules, etiquette, and precedents is not only a matter of pageantry, since she was raised in the center of Queen Elizabeth II's court. This is because the structure itself is what maintains the institution's mystique and power. Due to the fact that Camilla came into this world at a later stage in her life, she has naturally adopted a more laid-back and contemporary attitude. It has been stated that this manner has been a consistent cause of aggravation for the Princess Royal. Experts in body language and others who follow the royal family have regularly seen the noticeable difference that exists between the two ladies when they are in public. Princess Anne's dealings with her sister-in-law are nearly always formal, short, and professional. This is in contrast to the conduct of other members of the royal family, such as the Princess of Wales, who have made public attempts to demonstrate warmth and camaraderie with the Queen. There are no jokes that are exchanged, and there is no easy connection. Those who are familiar with the situation call this cold shoulder of Anne's. It's a deliberate and powerful signal, says a royal journalist who has been covering the events for a long time. A political statement might be made by keeping a cool distance from one's family members in a household where every look and gesture is analyzed. In spite of the fact that Anne is not a typically outgoing person, her reserved demeanor with Camilla goes beyond simple personality. Because of this, she is not willing to openly support her opinion in the same manner that she may with other people. This conveys the message that she acknowledges the fact that Camilla is playing a character, but that she does not feel obligated to provide her personal or passionate support to the performance. It has been suggested that this position of gatekeeping has expanded into far more significant areas of authority. The assertion that Princess Anne, along with other senior courtiers who were loyal to the old guard, intentionally attempted to limit Camilla's access to some important royal and state papers during her early years as Duchess of Cornwall is one of the most shocking assertions that has surfaced from insiders within the palace. One of the most important indicators of one standing inside the inner circle of the monarchy is the ability to get access to the daily red boxes and high-level strategic briefings of the government. These findings indicate that Anne did not have complete faith in the newcomer when it came to material that required the greatest level of secrecy. The insider added that ever since she was a teenager, Princess Anne has had access to secret information on affairs of state. She regarded Camilla as an outsider who had not yet earned the right to be at the center of constitutional affairs, she said. It wasn't hostility amongst individuals, so much as it was caution from the institution. Protecting the monarchy meant protecting its secrets, and, in Anne's view, that meant keeping Camilla, at least initially, on the periphery. While King Charles reportedly attempted to smooth over these tensions, Anne's firm stance underscored a fundamental lack of trust and a determination to control the flow of influence within the court. There have been debates over the specifics of royal etiquette as a result of this commitment to the traditional methods of doing things. The occasional informality that Camilla displays at public engagements, such as joking with reporters or breaking away from the stiff framework of an event, is reportedly something that Anne considers to be unsuitable for a senior monarch, and particularly for a queen consort. Of the utmost importance to the Princess Royal is the preservation of the majesty and mystery associated with the crown. Every encounter is a performance of that function, and any departure from that role diminishes the magnitude of the total impact. Anne, who is a traditionalist, views Camilla's more personal approach as a thoughtless chipping away at the fundamental foundations that she has spent her whole life protecting. This is despite the fact that some people may find Camilla's manner appealing. An effort to seize control of the generation that will come after us. The conflict that has arisen between the two women has also been a fight for control over the course that the monarchy would take, a conflict that has escalated at significant moments in the family's history. For a considerable amount of time, it has been claimed that Princess Anne is anxious about what she considers to be Camilla's divisive influence on her brother. Concerning her is the fact that King Charles, in his love for his wife, allows her advice to have an excessive amount of influence, which may sometimes be detrimental to the overall harmony of the family, as well as the stability of the institution. Reportedly, this dynamic was on full show during the arranging of the two royal weddings that were considered to be the most momentous in the history of the previous generation. According to reports, a power struggle was claimed to have been developing behind the scenes at the wedding of Prince William and Catherine Middleton in 2011. Princess Anne anticipated that she would play a prominent part due to the fact that she was the daughter of the former king and a senior royal of impeccable status. Nevertheless, Camilla, in her capacity as the spouse of the groom's father, endeavored to impose her authority over significant choices to be made. Anne was not about to take directions from Camilla, especially on an event of such constitutional importance, a source said. Anne was not about to take instructions from Camilla. It was the wedding of a couple who would one day become king and queen. Anne, a fervent adherent to tradition, was of the opinion that the celebration should strictly follow the procedure. The Princess Royal allegedly pushed back, ensuring that tradition triumphed, and quietly reminded Camilla of the established order. Camilla's more contemporary instincts were perceived as an effort to overstep the boundaries of what was considered appropriate behavior. During the whole of the festivities, she kept a perceptible distance from everyone, which served as a quiet but unmistakable confirmation of her status. During the time leading up to the wedding of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle in 2018, the tension was much more obvious than it had been before. The incident served as a turning point in the conflict that takes place inside the monarchy between modernity and tradition. The idea that Prince Harry and his wife were eager to break with some norms was allegedly one that Camilla was more sensitive to during their engagement. Princess Anne, on the other hand, was claimed to have lobbied for a royal wedding that was more traditional and planned. She believed that deviating too far from the established script was a hazardous endeavor. The disagreement among the family as a whole became a microcosm of the wedding instead. It is well known that King Charles, accompanied by Camilla, performed a pivotal part in the wedding ceremony by memorably leading Meghan Markle down the aisle. According to those with knowledge of the situation, Princess Anne was not pleased with the fact that Camilla exerted a substantial amount of influence throughout the planning process. She saw Camilla's opposition to a ceremony that was more contemporary to be just another instance of Camilla's efforts to undermine the institution's fundamental principles. She perceived Camilla's influence as dragging the monarchy on a path that she profoundly disagreed with, and Anne saw the wedding as more than simply a family celebration. It was a war for the identity of the monarchy. The rivalry that is not visible in a new reign. Now that Charles is sitting on the throne and Camilla has been proclaimed queen, the dynamic has unavoidably altered, but the tension that has been building up for so long is still there. The role that Princess Anne plays is, if anything, more important than it has ever been. Her voice holds a great deal of weight since she is a senior counselor of state and one of the members of the family who is the most experienced and has the greatest respect. In addition to being a living connection to the time of Elizabeth II, she is also a symbol of the continuity and constancy that the general public highly cherishes. The manner in which she interacts with Queen Camilla continues to be one of professional etiquette and a separation that is carefully maintained. Her unwavering commitment to her ideals has not been shaken, and her unassuming but forceful presence continues to act as a check on the newly established court. Rather than coming to an end, the Cold War has merely transitioned into a new phase. It is not a competition for the king's favor. Rather, it is a competition for the characteristics of his reign. More than simply royal gossip, the lengthy and complicated story of Princess Anne and Queen Camilla is a complex and lengthy narrative. It paints a captivating picture of two women who couldn't be more different from one another, and each of them has a strong vision for the future of the monarchy. Princess Anne is a lady who thinks that the survival of the crown is dependent on discipline, responsibility, and an uncompromising commitment to the rules. She plays the role of the unyielding protector of 1,000 years of history, a monarchy that was obliged to develop in order to accept love and withstand controversy is represented by Queen Camilla, who exemplifies a more adaptive and humanized monarchy. Internal politics of the House of Windsor have been influenced in ways that the general public seldom sees as a result of their silent war that has lasted for decades. This conflict has included anything from denying titles and limiting access to arguing over work ethic and etiquette. The influence of these two strong ladies will continue to dictate the path that the reign of King Charles III will take as it progresses. Meanwhile, the Queen will continue to serve as the personification of duty and the anchor to the past, while the Princess Royal will continue to represent the face of the present. The silent drama that will determine the destiny of the British monarchy will be the tension that exists between these two forces, which are tradition and change. Thank you for watching the video. Please let us know your thoughts and goodbye for now.